Hello, everybody, and welcome to Instant Match Reaction. Brighton 1, Everton 1. Get involved in the comments. Hit that like nice and early. Let's get some people on. The more likes you put on it, the more it will take it up on the algorithm. We'll get loads of Evertonians in the comments. Me and Paul go live before and after every game. We went live the night before, and we're live now to get the reaction. We want to hear from you, though, what you think. That's what it is, match reaction. Do get involved, and we'll give our reaction as well. Paul, talk to me, mate.
Yeah. God, I nearly fell asleep first half. I just think before anything, let's talk about 4 centre backs, because I don't think anyone last night saw that coming when we were putting down our lineups. Who needs full backs anyway? Just play all your centre backs, all your best players, and you'll be fine, or you could be if we were attacking enough. But defensive wise, I thought we did really well. We passed it well, but we were just stunted. We're just stunted going forward, and I think we deserve something out of the game. You know, I've no qualms about us getting the draw. I don't feel lucky. I felt as though we deserved to get something from the game, but I'm coming away probably less disappointed just because of the way that the scoring worked out and the fact that Beto got a goal. You know, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I'm philosophical about it, but we're not defeated.
Well, the thing is, I've just seen the comments about what must Asnu have done and Patterson done. First of all, I'm looking on the bench now. I don't think Asnu was on the bench. And is that through choice of David Moyes? Has he picked Coleman over Asnu, or has Asnu got a knock? You'd think Asnu probably would be on the bench, wouldn't you, if he was available? He's probably picked up a knock. He wasn't on the bench. It's either a choice of not putting him on, or he's got a knock, people. I haven't heard anything on that. So Asnu wasn't on the bench. So Mikalenko's not available as well. So Moyes has to straight away make the decision of we need a left back. The only person that probably could play left back is either Patterson moving him over to his wrong side, or we know Branthwaite can play left back. So I wasn't against Branthwaite playing left back if we haven't got a left back, because Asnu wasn't available, clearly. I think he might have been the option. And Mikalenko out. So I can see why Branthwaite coming left back. We all knew when we was picking our lineups, it's Jake O'Brien or Patterson. We knew Moyes probably does like the Jake O'Brien option. I did say, I didn't put Michael Keane in my defence, but I did say Moyes will want Michael Keane in the defence. That didn't surprise me at all. So, in a weird way, we were shocked when we saw the defence, but I think Moyes was forced into it with his options, with injuries and stuff like that. So, I think that's why we got it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think about most of our attacking today was lobs into the area, wasn't it? So, and there wasn't a lot of attacking, by the way. So, who would you want in those positions? Would you want O'Brien, who's got a long throw in and has got the height, or would you want Patterson? You'd have Keane, who's got a good record of scoring for a defender. Tarky, who's always the one to sort of win the flick on, and you got Branthwaite there as well. So, in some weird way, you can half understand. I mean, the Asnu thing. If you look at the bench, it's a case of how many sort of left-sided people have got, how many right-sided, and do you put Asnu ahead of these people? So, would Asnu go ahead of Aruban, and would he go ahead of Roll? Would he go ahead of Alcaraz? Would he go ahead of Seamus Coleman? Would he go ahead of Diblin or Beto or McNeil? No comment. Or Patterson? You know, there's a shout for. You could go ahead of Coleman or Patterson, so you only have one of those. So I get it. But Moyes had a little bit of change to play with today, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I felt like there's a few missing and a few available. So it was definitely with the defence. And there's a lot of people in the comments now. Say what you think. I don't go against what you say, because I believe that you're entitled to say what you say and you feel the way you feel. I wouldn't try and change your opinion. I'd say what I think. And we both put our opinions on the show, but we won't clash it. But there's a lot of David Moyes, Paul, in the comments, like out fuming with David Moyes. What's your thoughts on that? You can probably see it as well.
Yeah, no, I'm not on the Moyes out train really. I think some people like that when we first began, and I understand their arguments. They feel as though you can't take us further than we were before, but well, further than when he was there the first time. And that might be the case, but we weren't there when he arrived. So you make that kind of decision when you do get to that point. At the moment, we're not there. So, I mean, if you're going to throw credit his way, like one or two of the players have done, and the after-match interviews, then it's a case of he did change things, whether you agree on the time or anything else. It did happen, and he threw Beto on, he threw Diblin on, he threw Alcaraz on. So he's tried something. It's not literally one-for-one swap in injury time. There were a few people who were changed over, and apart from the way the game ended, the plan seemed to be stifle Brighton. Get hold of the ball when we could, attack when we could, but basically stifle Brighton and then hit them when we get the opportunities, the limited opportunities, and that was played perfectly. If that was the plan, that was played perfectly, and it ended up being a tale. If it wasn't for the Beto goal, then it would have been a tale of two chances. One that was saved from KDH, one that was scored by Gross at the other end. So the plan could have worked, but for a better finish from Dewsbury Hall. But thankfully, we got something from it.
I think if he was coming on and was doing a reaction and we'd lost 1-0, a lot of people I would have expected to have been fuming. I've come on and I think you're even more fuming than what I probably expected. Now, I'm not happy that we didn't win, by the way. I'm not. But I'm not deluded either, right? I know for a fact David Moyes' plan was to go away. And this is why we say we prefer to play away. Because if we sit back like that home, the fans will be as fuming as you are in the comments. They'll be saying, why have we let a team dominate us so much? Why have we sat back? They're miles better than us, right? When we go away, all we do, our plan, from what I see, is we sit back and we defend well. Even Illiman and Jairus defended well that first half. So we sit back and we defend. We defend really well, like we did first half. We defend well. Then what we wait for is we wait for the Brighton crowd to get frustrated, which they was getting frustrated. You can hear them. Then all of a sudden, the second half, it normally happens about second half. It's nicer if it happens first half, just towards the end. But you see us, because we've defended well and they're becoming frustrated, you see us away start to grow into the game then and become a bit confident. And that's what I did see happen, people. Because if you think about it, right, they didn't have many chances. I know they had a few from corners and stuff, back post, but we was there. We had the Dewsbury Hall chance. Now, he's got to put his foot through that and hit the top roof of the net. He's got to put it. It's a good setup from Barry as well. And that chance from Dewsbury Hall, if it puts you 1-0, changes the game completely. Of course, if you don't take that chance at Dewsbury Hall, I can guarantee they'll have one and they'll score it. And that is what happened. So I feel Moyes' plan was perfect. Defend well, wait for your chance. When you get your chance, score it. But we didn't score it. We should have been 1-0 up. We definitely should have been 1-0 up with that chance. There was also the Tarkowski chance, by the way, where Tarkowski headed it down. It hit Jake O'Brien's foot and it was going in the back of the net. That was a big chance as well. That was going in the back of the net as well. So I think when Dewsbury Hall had that chance, we probably had 2-3 chances, of making it 1-0 and we was on top. We had 3 chances of scoring to make us score. We didn't take it and they scored. Typical Everton. So,
yeah.
Another day, Paul, you score that, you're 1-0 up and we win them 1-0 and no one's moaning and it's a good game plan by Moyes. So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the other thing, because that happens all the time, doesn't it? Whenever you watch, not just us, and anybody, there's a chance to go 1 up at one end, you concede at the other end. There's a chance to go 2-0 up against the side, you end up losing 2-1, or you end up losing a goal at the very end, so you end up getting a draw. Their offside goal was tight, but I think it was offside. So that could have been 2-0 in that respect. And then we do we get our dues for battling on and fighting to win it back and everything else. We weren't sort of just lopping about the pitch, and we didn't give up or anything else. Moyes changed it, and we gave it a good go. And whether one person said Tark's having the most touches in the box is all you need to say. Well, we've said that we're stunted going forward. We're very good defensively. We can keep hold of the ball usually in midfield, but we can't create lots and lots of clear-cut chances for someone to put it in the net. So we're not there yet. And some people would have said a draw away would have been all right beforehand if it wasn't for Brighton's not great home record, same as us.
No disrespect, but Brighton we lined up like they were Arsenal. Brighton are a good team, you know. They have got some good attacking players. If you don't defend well against them, they will punish you. They have got some decent players. It was a hard game. I said this. I know we've got a good record against them, but Brighton was a hard game. We had to pay them respect and defend well. Otherwise, they would have just cut us open. I think you've got to remember as well. We played with four centre backs, and if you play with four centre backs, it's going to be very hard to attack with your full backs, and it was that takes away something to our game today. We massively missed Jack Grealish. For me, it felt personally like we was good on the left-hand side where we had Iliman and Jai, and I think Armstrong was class on the right-hand side, but he's just doing his job, not as attacking-minded as what Jack Grealish would have been, and Iliman and Jai. But I think Armstrong did a good job there, and I think he defended well and kept us solid, and it's nice to know that he can do that job on the right-hand side. But you do feel when Armstrong's on the wing, he hasn't got that take a player on speed, bomb it past.
No.
You don't get that winger. That's the problem. But Armstrong was really good, so it's weird to say that he wasn't good in that position. If you get where I'm coming from,
they were good. They were good at their jobs, but we lack as a team, and everyone in the comments and watching back, I've always said we just lack pace, and we really do. Pace in your team is so important for so many different reasons. You can be a slow, methodical side and create chances, but it takes a long time, and you might not have many chances. And it takes a whole team to sort of pass the ball and keep the ball and move forward and forward. If you've got pace, it's much easier to do that because these players can get the ball and sprint 30 yards, and the whole team just comes up the pitch. And then you get chances created from being further in the opposition's half. We don't have that pace. We can't get away from people. So there were plenty of times today, actually. And then Ndai's got pace, but so Brighton. And there were plenty of times today, actually, that Ndai did great defensively, but trying to get away from the full-backs in the midfield that Brighton had, he couldn't really get away from them very often. I think there was a couple of others as well who tried to, I think Armstrong, like you say, tried to get away from one or two tackles and being pulled back, and he couldn't do so. So I just think that pace is something that we desperately need. Whoever you bring in whatever position, please let him have a bit of legs.
Roll must be fuming. Liam says another game that Roll gets dropped. Do you know what? It didn't surprise me that Roll didn't start. I wanted him to start, of course I did. But we still had, Garner Gay, James Garner, and Dewsbury Horse. It wasn't a bad combination that Moyes did in the middle, I don't think. And Armstrong, not many people would moan about because I think he had a really good game. So I get it. Maybe the only thing I could moan about is that I would have preferred Merlin Roll to come on instead of Timo Rabunum, but that's last 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Garner,
I mean,
there's
a few comments. Yeah, there's a few comments about the owners and stuff like that. They gave us a few players in the summer. Not every team does loads of business in January, and I know people want Europe straight away and everything else. And the sooner the better, obviously, because why are you even in the league if you're not trying to achieve things? But if you're looking at it from a different view, not a fan's view, if you're looking at it from a business view, throwing money at something and it not hitting well, maybe isn't the the best course of action. We've got lots of midfielders. You know, we're not battling for Champions League or anything. We're close to sort of conference, and Europa is probably a bit of a push, but summer would be the one where you would actually find the better players, get the better deals, and everything else. So I get people are frustrated, but just be patient as well. And I know that'll probably enrage with some people. We waited so long. I know. I've been there. I'm here. I know exactly what you're saying, but it's not all going to come at once.
We just found out that we are going to pay Jack Grealish's wages and stuff like that, and keep him at the club for his rehab, and it's, I presume, if we are, and this is, I want Jack Grealish to stay, and I love him, I really do, and I really want him to stay because I'm gutted about his injury, and I know how crucial he is to us once he comes back. But I like to think that if we are paying his wages, which are big wages, and we're getting nothing out of him for a half a season on loan, that we have got some sort of good deal set up to buy him cheap by doing this with Man City, where we're saying, you know what, we'll keep him, but we want to agree with this deal now before we do keep him. I'd like to think that. Everton don't do that, but I would like to think it. I'm just gutted that he's not available, Jack Grealish. We missed him today. I feel like if we had him, he would have caused a lot of problems for them. And Jack Grealish, he got the other players going as well. It felt like, you know, like you go into battle, Paul, and you've got that main man that, you know, that can fight at the front. Jack Grealish was that main man that spurred all the other players on behind him. So he will be missed. He will be missed. And that's what does make me think that we do need to probably bring another player in. I really do think that. Watching today, I think we need to bring another, like, either, I think, pacey winger, because when we bring Diblin on, Diblin's like, he's like a Jack Grealish maybe in the making if he does get there, but he's not a run past players. He's just like, he'll try and keep the ball close to his feet like Jack Grealish does, but can't do it as well as what he does. So I think we do need another. We need another winger. I do, a pacey winger. Otherwise, we could be snooted. If we see McNeil offload, it could happen. That's why he might not have been available.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look as though Diblin is being encouraged to try and take players on and get us up further up the pitch. Really, you know, it's almost like we'll just edge forward.
Is that his game, though, Paul? You know? Is that his game? I don't see him.
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know, because I didn't see enough of him at Southampton. But if he was doing that kind of thing at Southampton and taking 2 or 3 people on like Ndiaye does, then why isn't he being encouraged to try and develop that kind of skill? You know, is it a slow process? Is it just getting used to the league? Is it, you know, this is how we want you to play? Are we taking away some of his best attributes? I don't know.
Yeah, in the comments there, Rod says it makes no. And yeah, I know I'm pushing my luck here to say that it could make us get a better deal out of Grealish. When you take the loan on, you do have to look after him. Of course, you do. When I see Diblin, I don't see that knock it down, burst, one-on-one, let's go, I'm faster than you. I've seen him try it a couple of times, and the players have kept up with him. So I don't think that's his game, that winger run past you.
Yeah. Maybe.
So yeah. I think he's more in tight spaces in his feet, maybe sharp turns. Honestly, I think he is like, he wants to be Jack Grealish, but hasn't got that confidence and ability yet that Jack Grealish has got. Because you know where Jack Grealish, we say he doesn't run past players, but he draws players in and then goes past them by taking them on slowly. I think that's what Diblin will be. Is he's got good feet and he'll draw them in and have tidy feet and go past them, but not that burst of speed. So it'll be interesting to see what Diblin does. But I think Armstrong probably played better than what Diblin could have played on that right-hand side. Player that did impress me when he come on was Nathan Patterson. He put some good balls in, and we looked a lot more attacking down that right-hand side when Patterson come in. And a lot of people did say that there was gutted that Patterson got dropped. Moyes shouldn't be dropping him when he hasn't had a bad game. So I could see that, but I don't want Jake O'Brien dropped either. So
yeah, true enough. Yeah, well, we were just going through the comments there. Let me just throw up 1 or 2 of the stats from today, and see if it shows anything half decent.
West Ham winning again in the comments there against Chelsea.
All right. Always the way. So a lot of I mean, it doesn't.
Bowen. Should get Bowen.
I mean, look at that. There's not a massive difference between the two in the end, is there? You know, they might have more shots. We had more shots on target. Is that even us? It doesn't feel like us, but it is.
No, we
Big
defend,
chances,
like
couple each. You know, they had more corner kicks than we did.
Like I say, I could see what people were saying in the comments because it was boring to watch first half, but it's just about getting the result. It didn't need to be the prettiest game to watch. You just needed to defend well, and then when we get a chance, take it. And if your luck does go in football, that chance that we got, Dewsbury Hall chance, we take it. We get 1-0. I seriously do think if Dewsbury Hall scored that, Paul, we'd defend out the 1-0. The only reason we got caught out is because it was attacking.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit frustrating that because I feel like our game plan, what Moyes wanted, was probably perfect. Moyes knew it'd be boring. We'd give up a lot of possession away. And he probably was just saying, right, when you get a chance, take it. We'll take the 1-0 away. And Dewsbury Hall should be scoring from there. He really should. I like Dewsbury Hall as well, so I was frustrated for him.
I mean, so just looking at those stats though, it was a pretty even game, even from whether you like the stats or not. I think, you know, they I think were far more comfortable, and you know, but I would imagine they would say that they were the same. They got to our defensive wall, and then they couldn't do a massive amount. So I certainly don't think we didn't deserve anything from the game. I think we certainly deserve something. So it wouldn't have felt right having got beat when it doesn't anyway. But certainly not on that performance defensively and midfielder wise.
I just translated that comment. You know, I was going to try and read it in Chinese, but I just translated it.
Well, I know you are fluent.
No. Well, I'm a very talented man. I don't like to brag about it, Paul, but I'm a lot cleverer than what you are, and you're a teacher. Why is Matombo upside? I presume it's meant to translate to why was he offside? Just was. Wasn't he?
Well, no, well, it wasn't Matoma, was it, when the ball came in? Dunk
was offside.
Yeah, they curved a free kick in, and there was a bit of pushing at the far post. And whoever it is, if it is Dunk, he's sort of got his hands on one of our defenders, and having done that, instead of just like move somewhere else without grabbing anybody, he was actually in an offside position. So. And it was the initial one. Everything after that, the 2 or 3 kicks after that, no one was offside. So it might well be. It might well be that. Yeah, true.
It wasn't, but you know what though? Like seriously, I personally, it's the end of the game, and I always believe we can come back. But I was starting to feel like towards the end when Michael Keane had that chance, and you think it's going to go in. Good volley by Michael Keane. Just think he should be playing a striker sometimes. Michael Keane's finishing ability is insane. Like that volley was not easy, and he made it look like it was just past him across the floor. It was a really good volley, and nearly. Like, I was thinking, how do you hit that? Like that's not even a good delivery. It's behind him. He's pinged it like it's an easy chance, and I'd be really interested to see what Michael Keane could do if he was continuously in the box because I'm not Michael Keane's biggest fan, but he's got some insane shooting ability, Michael Keane has. But after that, when Michael Keane missed that, because they normally go in with him, you start to think, you think, you know that we've missed 3 chances. The Tarkowski header into O'Brien's feet didn't go in. That was a good chance, that was. The Dewsbury Hall chance, and there was another one as well. So, you know, we've missed 3 chances, then they score 1. You've got all that gutting feeling inside where you think, you know what, we've lost. Brighton are all happy and they've won. And you think, you can see Brighton fans getting happy and you think we've lost, we've won. And all of a sudden, we've took that away. Do you know what I mean? Rocky ain't over till it's over. I ain't heard no bell. So don't go not giving us credit because Beto's come on his birthday, giving 8 minutes, if that. Beto's come on and he's scored. Well, we had extra time, so it's probably about 10, 15. But Beto's come on. He's banged a goal in under massive pressure on his birthday. We've stopped those Brighton fans from celebrating. They was all celebrating, saying they beat us. We've gone away and stopped them from getting the 3 points. We've took away a point, which obviously isn't that good, but it's better than frigging what could have happened. You know what I mean? You've got to appreciate getting a late goal. So I'm a little bit like Paul, because I was feeling so gutted, thinking I've got to go into this show now and we've lost. To get that late goal, I was like, it felt like a win. And I know it's not a win, but it felt like a win because we stopped them from winning. Do you know what I mean? Is that me being too positive?
Yeah. Oh, they were devastated. They were devastated.
Yeah, they were human, and that could have been
as though they had lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damien, yes, Troy Parrott. Anybody. Anyone. But Beto scored today. Barry, 4 in 5 and all that jazz. So it was a good volley, that actually. It needed to be as well. So yeah, 1 in 11 for Brighton. I know they're awful, aren't they? Oh, it's absolutely shocking. Would have been level on points with us if they'd won today. So they're going through a bad spot like we have done before. Yeah, there was actually when we did score, there was a VAR check. Supposedly, according to the commentator I was watching, it was Sachs was offside, but not interfering or in the line of sight of the goalkeeper. So yeah, I know you would. You'd be gutted. Yeah, you're welcome, Damien. You're welcome. So, do you want to have a little look at the league table? It's not as distressing as the last time we looked at it on Monday. Here we go.
But we still picked up a point, haven't we? If you keep stacking little things, if you keep taking something, then you do build up. Obviously, we want the 2 points, but to have been 1-0 down at that moment in time, appreciate the point is what I say, Paul. And the thing is, it just keeps us competitive in the table. Would I say there you go? If we didn't get that point, we wouldn't be on 34 level with Fulham. So we are still around there. I mean, I'm gutted we didn't beat them, but we're away. It's not. And I know we're crap at home, but that shouldn't be the case. That's disgusting, and we need to change that. Can't always have the pressure of needing to win away. Sometimes going away to someone's ground that is desperate for a win, like Brighton was, and not getting beat, you've got to go back and. Because I honestly do think, Paul, our players, when we're going away now, we are starting to think. The commentators said it. I can't remember the stats. You're the stat man, Paul. Like we hadn't conceded a goal in like a lot of games before we conceded that goal. So we are good away.
Chelsea away was the last time that we conceded away, which I think is probably only about 4 games, something like that, 3 or 4 games.
4 games away though is good, isn't it? To not concede like in 4 games away. And then to go to this game and only concede 1, which I was fuming about. That was bad defending by us. We do go away and we do hold our own, because sometimes you can go to someone's ground and get battered, but fair play to us. We do hold our own when we go to someone else's ground. I love watching you, but you have... Sorry, when you are streaming.
Damien has to go. When are we on again? Well, we'll be on. If not before then, we'll be on before our next away game, which will be Fulham.
Are you going to eat that, Damien? What's on your screen?
You what, sorry?
Is he going to eat what's on your screen, that picture?
He might do, yeah. Well, it's Saturday. People go for an Indian on a Saturday night. Don't know. But Fulham away, if you look at the league table there we are, side by side. They've got a game.
Paul, do you like seeing the D? Do you like seeing the D, Paul?
Hate seeing them Ds. Depends which D you're on about, I suppose.
No, I prefer the P. No,
there's a lot of D's on the screen right now, isn't there? If you look at that, that's a lot of amber.
Everyone's fighting and battling, ain't they? It's a weird season, isn't it? Everyone is battling for what they can. And you look at West Ham now; they was at the bottom, and they're in front against Chelsea. And I would never expect West Ham to have gone 1-0 up against Chelsea. It's just everyone's battling for their lives. West Ham and Nottingham Forest are trying to get out of that relegation zone. If you look at the table there, I mean, if I can get rid of that.
Yeah, go on.
I'd say from Wolves, I think Wolves will make a little bit of a comeback. They're not as bad as you see them. Burnley are a hard team, they get a couple. Every team's good. Like if you look at the table, Wolves, they can be decent now. They've got better. They're starting to play better. Burnley, like I say, they do get the odd good result, don't they? West Ham, we know they're starting to play a lot better. They're doing well now. Nottingham Forest, Dice the dinosaur, he does get the odd good result, doesn't he? 1-0 or something like that. I know he battered a team in the Europa League, but Leeds ain't easy. Crystal Palace, we don't know what's going on with them. Tottenham down there. Look at where Tottenham are, the money that they spend and the ground that they've got. They must be fuming. Brighton, we just played them. Decent team. I mean, people won't admit it in the comments, but look at the wingers they've got compared to what we've probably played today. They've got loads of options. Bournemouth, decent. Sunderland, randomly decent. Newcastle, look where they are. We're above Newcastle as well. That's pretty good. Brentford, we were above them now. That's pretty good. So it's not as doom and gloom. I can't be too angry about it,
Yeah, it was a good point. It was a good point to get today.
Yeah,
we would have felt massively different, really, because that point obviously pushed us up 4 places or 5 places. Other teams have got another game to play, so keep a little eye. But you've got Fulham next. We've got Bournemouth coming up at home and United coming up at home. So there's, I won't use the long word beginning with O, double P, because I'm not going to jinx much. But we're doing all right. We're doing okay. It's not the worst form in the world, but it's not the best form in the world.
That's why Brighton was probably so fuming. Look at where Brighton are now on 31. You add 2 points to them, they probably went up 4 positions in the league if Brighton would have won. And luckily, we didn't let that happen. Do you know what I mean? That is the difference sometimes of getting the draw. We've kept our little decent position of 8th, level on points, so we're basically 7th. So we've kept that decent position and kept Brighton down there just by not letting them get the 3 points. So it's not as bad as you may feel.
No, there's positives. There's positives from it, but it's all those missed opportunities we've had in the past as well, isn't it? So, but everyone in that bracket there, really, apart from the top 3, all the way down, will be saying, "Oh well, we had the chance to do this and we had a chance to do that," but no one's been able to get a run of wins at the moment. Bournemouth, 3 wins out of 5. Newcastle had 3 wins, and they've drawn and lost 1. No one can put a decent run together. In fact, there's no one in that table at the moment who has won more than their last 2 games.
I mean, some people are fuming, but I'd say Newcastle have brought in more players than what we brought in, and Moyes is doing a better job than what Newcastle are doing. You might be fuming when we're saying that, but I just generally believe if you look at our players, the options that we've got, and you look at Newcastle's players, the options they've got, and the fact that we're doing better than them, maybe Moyes isn't doing as bad as you probably think. Tottenham, look at the players that Tottenham have got. Moyes is doing better than what that manager's doing at Tottenham. So I know we needed to win today and we wanted to win, but sometimes in football, what you've got to realise is it's your day and it's not your day. And if Dewsbury Hall isn't putting that in the back of the net like he normally, we've seen him score a lot harder goals than that. Look at the goal Dewsbury Hall scored against Man U. The goal he scored against Man U. Like, Dewsbury Hall normally scores those chances that he got. If he scored that and we win 1-0, we're all celebrating saying Europa League and we've just beat Brighton. So football's just, it goes for you some days and some days it don't. And that Dewsbury Hall chance today, it just wasn't our day. And we're very lucky to get a draw out of a game that wasn't our day.
Yeah. And I mean, we're coming, these are, you look at these fixtures, I mean, there's no easy games in the Premiership, blah, blah, blah. But away at Brighton, away at Fulham, playing Bournemouth, who, sometimes are a bogey team for us. United, Newcastle, maybe a slight reprieve against Burnley, but we don't know. And then Arsenal, Chelsea again. So we've just got to keep going and doing what we're doing and try and fix a couple of problems at a time, or one problem at a time. And the next problem that we've got is really not scoring enough goals going forward. Is there something we can do in the transfer market for that? Is there something that we can do on the training pitch for that? I'd like to see one or two other things that we could do maybe, and Moyes could implement on the training pitch, and maybe catch one or two people off guard a little bit. That'd be a really good thing to do.
In the comments there, why do we always look at what could have happened? I'm saying if Dewsbury all scored, we would have won. And then you're saying, yeah, well, Matoma could have scored and they could have won, and that's football. I get it. But at the end of the day, they had a good left back, a good right back, natural left backs and right backs. And they brought Veltman on, who's a good backup right back, left back. Brighton had a pretty strong squad. Look at what we had today. We didn't have a left back. We didn't have a right back. We had Dewsbury, who isn't even match fit in the middle. We had to leave Braithwaite off when he needed to come off a lot sooner, in my opinion. We had a centre midfielder playing right wing for the first time. We grinded out something without the best options today. Moyes didn't have the best hand today to play with. I'm telling you that for sure.
No, and if looking now, I was surprised. I didn't realise Ruben was available again. So he did all right for 10, 15 minutes when he came on. Did a bit of kicking.
I would have preferred
we used 5 subs. We seem to be using more subs nowadays. It seems anyway.
Too late though, Paul. Want it? He's got to do it earlier.
Yeah,
what I did see from Moyes is like Moyes felt like me that everything went to plan for David Moyes, and he felt like we was playing well, which we was just starting to get into the game. And Moyes seeing Dewsbury all have that chance and miss, and Moyes is thinking, "Yes, I don't need to change anything here. We just nearly scored." And then he's seen Tarkowski nearly score, so Moyes isn't thinking of changing at that point. He's just thinking, "We're going to go 1-0. I'm sticking." And then all of a sudden they've scored, and Moyes is thinking in his head, "Right. Are we still going to be playing well like we was just before they scored with these players? So should I leave it for a bit?" And that's what he did. He left it for a bit to see if we was going to go back to how we was playing before they scored that goal. And we didn't. We crumbled and cracked. So probably the subs needed to be made straight after they scored, Paul. But do you get where I'm coming from? I get why you left it a bit, because he was probably happy with what it was like just before they scored.
Yeah, I mean, it was, what was it, 76 minutes or something like that, that they scored. And then Alcaraz comes on 79th and so on and so on. So, there was he threw 3 lads on inside a couple of minutes, gave it 10 minutes, and then threw the last couple on to try and do anything. But we were still pushing them at that point. I don't always agree with Flashscore and their ratings at all, but I think defensively, I thought the 4 lads did quite well. Yeah, I think 6-4 is probably a little bit harsh on Garner Gay. I just don't think we went forward very well, and that's really where we're lacking. And I couldn't get away from their right back. He played well. He should. He was probably better than 7-1 as they gave him. They gave Gross man of the match, but I just don't think we move the ball forward quick enough. We keep it quite well, but we just don't move it forward quick enough. And Barry gets isolated, particularly if he's battling against 2 centre-backs who Van Heck and Dunk today barged him a little bit. Beto coming on earlier possibly would have made a difference. Because when Beto did come on for 6 minutes, he just barged them all over the place. When Beto came on. So just things to think about for next time, because Fulham are a similar sort of side, keep the ball really well like Brighton do. But I think we can get the better of Fulham more physically as opposed to Brighton. I think they've got some big strong tacklers. They were up for this one because they're obviously on a bad run. And there was a little bit of kicking going on, and they were trying to pull Pickford everywhere, weren't they? Van Heck was that thing of, I'll stand next to you, but then I'll put my arm around you. So, and you know what, as well, Chris Kavanagh. I'm not saying Chris Kavanagh had a good game, because I don't think he had a great game, but bloody hell, we managed to get some decisions from Palpatine from Star Wars. Get that.
We said earlier on we don't know whether Asnu was available. We said he wasn't on the bench, so whether he's Moyes just had a decent bench and didn't pick him, we're not sure. Whether he was unfit, we don't know. I did put on Twitter first off, thought Kavanagh was really bad because there was a lot of throw-ins that he gave their way instead of our way, and it was just continuous, like throwing to them when it was ours, and Armstrong was like, what? There was I think there was 4 or 5 throw-ins in a row where the referee didn't even know which way to give it and just gave it to the home team. So the first half, thought the referee was shocking. But the second half, you know what? He was okay with us. Credit, I won't jump on him for no reason. Second half, he didn't give the goal that they scored, which normally we'd get that given against us no matter what. The Tarkowski interfering with play, that went our way as well. I do think that was the right decision, but some referees have done. You've seen the interfering with play with Armstrong that got given last time as well. So fair play to the referee. He could have messed us up that second half, but let us get the draw, which I'm happy with. Sorry for saying.
How does Damien How does Damien subscribe, Dan?
Well, what you do is you just literally, for anyone that's new, you just click the subscribe and it's free. But all it basically does is it gives us more subscribers, so we get more people on the show. But it pops up then to tell you when we go live, so you don't miss our show. So we always get to see you. We've got a lot of regulars in the comments now that we're good friends with, and we know you all. So yeah, I do suggest subscribe, because the amount of people that we say I missed the show, if you subscribe, it pops up and says they're going live at such and such time, and then you can jump on the shows and we can connect after every game and before and every game. So do hit that subscribe, people, because we are a decent show. We get good feedback anyway. That's what we get told.
It's nice to know. Nice to know. So yeah, I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling all right about it, really, because we got something out of the game.
You know what? I'm normally fuming. I am normally fuming, Paul, because all I want is a win, and I'm pushing for that Europa League, and I am. But
I know you are.
But the thing is, and I know 3 points is massive, but the fact that we got, I could feel those Brighton fans celebrating, and I know how pumped they was, and the fact we've taken that away from them and stopped that feels like we've done something.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. It feels like we just did something. Do you know what I mean? To stop their party. And that's what football is about sometimes, you know what I mean? If I was playing in that match that Everton was playing in, like Sunday League, when I played Sunday League, if we was losing 1-0 and then the team's starting to take the rip out of me and they think they're good and they're starting to get ready to celebrate that they've won 1-0, and you go and get a late goal and stop them and get the draw, yeah, you haven't won, but it still feels good that you stopped them. And that's what we did today. So we've got to give our players a little bit of credit, because there would have been more fume if we lost. And we always say fight to the end. You know what I mean? Rocky, it ain't over till it's over. I didn't hear no bell. And that was, 96th minute? We kept going. We kept going till the very end. And we didn't just let them win. And that's a way to give these players some credit. I know it's not going good. And I know you don't like the lineup probably. And I know the first half was boring. But we are a work in progress. And I do believe that Moyes had a bad hand today. He really did. You look at that lineup today. I know you want more from our club because you love us and you know we can be better, but that wasn't the best team that we put out today, and we still managed to get a draw away. Too positive, I'm being today. I just need to go and do something depressing to make myself angry again. Yeah,
that's because of Beto. That is. That must be.
Well, Beto, don't even mention him, because when I had that thing on with Jack for Beto to score, he couldn't score in like 4 or something. But the moment I ain't got it on, no, I'm. It's weird. I give up with this striker stuff, Paul, because I'm doing the Tierno Barry celebration and I'm loving Tierno Barry, and then all of a sudden, for a fact when Beto, I did think when Beto come on he'd score. I don't care either, because it's good and it's his birthday, and we've just as an Everton fan now, for a fact if you love a striker and you believe in him, he won't have the best of games. He won't score. And the striker that you're starting to get frustrated with will come on and score. That's what happens, whether it's Barry or Beto. That's what happens with either one. You could guarantee now, if you gave Beto the start next game, he'd do nothing for 60, 70 minutes. Barry would come on and score. And it vice versa the other way around, Paul, isn't it? I don't know what it is with our strikers, but I will defend Barry a little bit, because I think Barry could have run more. He could have run more, Barry could have. But we were shocking today. So we didn't give Barry much good service at all today. We couldn't pass the ball much first off. We didn't get the ball in the box. We didn't give him where we said put some good crosses in front of the defenders. We didn't give Barry none of that. We just knocked it into him and hope. So I'm not jumping on Barry for this game. Like it wasn't his fault, in my opinion.
Not his fault. Not his fault at all, to be fair. Just it's the same with it was same with Calvert-Lewin. Always became isolated. We couldn't get close enough, and then when it was Beto having a run in the side, we couldn't get close enough to Beto. So
Moyes
maybe
had that.
It is. Maybe we are on occasion. Maybe on occasion we're actually getting round Barry a little bit more. He's you know what? He's improving. He wasn't as good today because I think Brighton's defence was much better today, but he's certainly improving from what he was. There's massive kind of positivity and hope more than anything that Tierno can become a good striker. At the moment, he's not quite there, but he's keep working hard.
Yeah, Domain, send some videos, mate. If you think you're good at football, send some videos in and we'll have a look on the show and see whether we think you're good enough to play for Everton. It's weird with Barry, like Barry
we want to buy some people, don't we? So
yeah, we'll sign you. Barry seems to have this ability where he's got like more ability, but he doesn't put as much of a shift in as Beto does. So you want that in Barry, and then you put Beto on. Beto works his arse off. David Moyes used to have Antonio for West Ham. Antonio was really strong and good at holding the ball up, for West Ham, whether you like him or not. And Moyes is used to a striker putting so much effort and working to get them up the pitch. And I don't feel that Moyes is getting what he wants from either striker. I think Moyes is playing Barry, and he knows Barry's got the ability, but he wants him to work harder. That's why he said in the press conference, I need more from him. And I do love Barry, and I think he's got the ability. I just wish he'd work a little bit harder to get himself in more chances. And then I think he plays Beto, but then Beto's got the work, but he hasn't got Barry's feet and technical ability, so he's a bit more dopier. So Moyes hasn't got what he wants, has he? He's got a striker with two things that he wants to put into one.
He's got two strikers who need to work extra hard to be, at the moment, to be average Premier League strikers. And they have to work so hard. And all the little things that they work on in training, they need to use those and remember those. So the goal against Leeds, him coming across the defender late on to get that touch,
Yeah, better.
You've seen more often when Barry first started, he found it really, really, really difficult to hold up the ball. Now he's I saw him do, as you're watching on the TV, it's far left in the corner. And I think it was Dunk. The ball's coming into Barry, and he's early go back into the defender before the ball gets there. So he went back into Dunk and just created him a little bit of space. Dunk was a bit pissed off by it and pushed him away. That kind of thing, he's obviously been watching or been shown and things like that, and that's really important. So they've really got to work hard to stay in the club. Really, they've got to keep doing that, because as soon as someone comes in who has the ability and has to work less hard, then they could well be up against it. So at the moment, I'd say they've got the fans on side to a degree, especially after the penalty misses. I think both of them have kind of, they've forgiven themselves now, and they've done all right since. So they've got to work hard and carry on.
We haven't got it right behind the striker, though. Like, we don't play well behind the striker. As much, Garner Gay was a bit non-existent today. I don't like calling players out, but I do, because I feel like, so what if you do? You know what I mean? They're strong enough to move on from it. But Garner Gay was a bit non-existent. James Garner was fantastic. He's getting really good, James Garner. The amount of pitch that he covers and the speed and the tackle. He put one tackle in at the end, and I thought, why are you playing centre-back there? He sweeped off and put a cracking tackle in. And James Garner, he's goating it at the minute, He looks levels. Like, you're watching the game and you're seeing, like, you watch the speed of every player, and James Garner looks like he's got that extra bit of speed and sharpness more than all the other players on the pitch, Paul. And it's just a shame we're not ticking round him, because I feel there's so much more in James Garner if we had the right players round him. But Dewsbury Hall isn't sharp yet. Garner Gay wasn't that good today. So James Garner, he's kind of doing it by himself a little bit in the middle for me.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm not sure if it was Emma. Let me know if it wasn't you, But mentioning about James Garner and Garner Gay as a duo, and
Yeah,
the
it
fact
was.
that
Yeah.
it doesn't always sort of work as well as you'd think it would. Sometimes I think, we've sort of said, I think I said in the last show about Garner Gay shouldn't have to be the outstanding player. At where he is in his career and everything else, he should be an understudy, or for coming in and just doing a job when we need it, or he needs to be the experienced player to come on when there's a particular situation that needs dealing with. And so you should really look towards the likes of James Garner being your Garner Gay player, and Armstrong being your other one, maybe, or Dewsbury Hall being that other person, or Roll being that person. So, you've maybe got a little bit more momentum going forward, because naturally, at that age and the player that he will keep the ball for you. He'll win it back, but he won't surge forward or anything. There won't be any kind of purpose in doing that very often. And I think we are like that as a side. I think there's too much fear of failure, and people just want to keep the ball and pass it on to the next person, lob it into the box and see what happens. And we've got to be a little bit more willing to make a mistake, And I think a few players are kind of like that.
Amanda says James Garner covers every blade of grass. He has become our first player on the pitch, apart from Pip. Yeah, you know what he has? He's fantastic, and I just wish everyone, like you say, Garner Gay is getting on. Garner Gay, when you think about it, he did that thing again today. Do you know where he set up the goal for Barry last game? He got in those positions again, but I can't think of him defending that much, Garner Gay, in crucial positions or good blocks or good interceptions today. So I do feel that we could maybe give. I'm not saying drop Garner Gay, because he is fantastic and you miss him when he's gone. But I would like to see Merlin Roll played in this position, and someone just push him out the team a little bit and give him a bit of competition. Garner Gay, I really would. Alvarez, come on, I feel sorry for him, but he's just coming back from injury.
Yeah. Who has a set? Possibly. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Scar. And I just think we should encourage people to give more things a go, and losing the ball is okay if you're trying to do things in the final third, and trying to create things. I keep saying about dribbling, don't I? Just let him go, give him the ball, and just let him go. Don't coach it out of him. I definitely don't want that. I don't want us to sort of bring any of that pep thinking into our brains, where players can't fail. Keep the ball, keep the ball, keep the ball, keep the ball. I get it. Retention's important, but you've still got to have people who can dribble and people who can create something out of nothing. They're the moments that win football matches.
Sometimes I can't, like when I watched Iliman Ndiaye track back today. Iliman Ndiaye's defensive stuff is insane. The amount of times Iliman Ndiaye was getting back and helping the left back, but is that Moyes? You remember Moyes back in the day? Pienaar used to always help Baines out. Pienaar was always there tracking back so hard, and on the other side. And I think that's Moyes' philosophy as wingers, that you double up and you always make sure that you're not one-on-one and you double up and you track back. But then I'm thinking to myself, is that why people are saying Iliman Ndiaye didn't have a good game? Because he doesn't get to attack as much, because he's wasting a lot of energy on defending. That's what I'm thinking. Because for a fact, if you're defending loads and you're getting back, you're going to be a bit shattered and have less energy to do the attacking stuff.
Yeah. I mean, no one will, although we couldn't watch him live, but won't forget having James Rodriguez in the side. And when we had him, people sort of saw him as a luxury player. We knew that he wasn't going to be tracking back and doing loads of defending. You know, it was a luxury that we'd almost give him a bit of a free roll in some respects, but that was okay because he was so potent when we actually gave him the ball and create things that it was okay to do that. And we don't seem to allow anyone to do that at the moment, you know. And Dye is literally tracking back 30, 40 yards, winning the ball back. I get that, and that's great. Grealish on the other side was doing that as well. But
Grealish, yeah,
there's
in
got
the
to be a
comments there,
time.
Grealish is the same. Grealish did defend,
Yeah,
didn't he, Paul?
there's got to be a time where your defence, and I hope it will be because it doesn't seem to be at the moment, good enough to defend individually as rather than a whole pack of 6 to 8 players. You know, we should be allowed to let Endai or Grealish, whoever it be, not have to track back 40 yards every single time, so that we actually have them in front of us and we can pass the ball to them, and then they can take us forward as a side. I think we're very stuck in our ways in terms of, well, if we're defending, we've all got to defend all the time, apart from maybe the striker who stands on the halfway line. And you kind of got to get away from that. Otherwise, when you boot the ball out to our players and there's no one there, it's just going to come straight back, which happened a lot today. Happened a lot. Sometimes we've got to give credit to people who can defend and take those chances to compensate them going forward and create things.
I do think if you've got Braithwaite and Tarkowski or Jake O'Brien centre back, you can push up higher. When you've got Michael Keane and Tarkowski centre back, I feel you sit a bit deeper, and that's what causes us to defend more. I would like us to play the faster centre backs and play with fullbacks, but we haven't got fullbacks that much. In the comments coming in, would you take Lukaku back? Well, do you know what? It depends on wages and stuff like that, but I don't mind us having more options. I think we need more options. I don't think we'll get a striker unless Beto goes. I think if Beto goes, we'll get a striker, but I can see us just sticking with Barry and Beto. I don't think we'll keep Barry and Beto and bring another striker in. I can't see that happening. I just don't think that would happen. I think we don't. I don't see us getting Lukaku with Barry and Beto. I think that would frustrate them all, to be fair, because only one can get a game.
Well, it'd have to be someone better than both of them, which isn't impossible. But then they would then have to do so well in training that they are immediately thrown ahead of them, because then you get in 4 months left. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that there's hardly any games left, but it takes a little while then for someone to be integrated into a side. People saying Lukaku, we loved Lukaku until people said he doesn't run, you know. But I'd allow him not to run just to have him in the box, to be fair. Someone said he's overweight, 33 overweight, hasn't done anything in months. But I tell you what, it inspired that lad. What he
Football isn't easy.
Imagine Barry's face when they say, "Oh, we sell Lukaku."
I know he'd be loving it, wouldn't he? He'd be watching him. At least he'd listen to Lukaku. Football isn't easy, though. When you look at Chelsea now, they're getting beat 2-0 against West Ham at home. It's not easy. Like this, you just can't predict anything at the minute. And look how much money Chelsea have spent. So it's just not easy at the minute. And yeah, we didn't win. I wanted to beat them. I had us down to win in my prediction. I did want to win, but we drew. We went away. We draw. We gave them nothing. We took a point home. They won't be happy we took a point home. They'll be fuming that we took a point home. And we crack on. We do need to sort this out. But Moyes, I bet you when I go and listen to his press conference now, he'll be fuming the way we played second half. I think the players let him down. In his head, he wanted that to work better with what he did. And I think, but he will see the positives on that. Brighton are a decent team. Some of you might not admit that, but they are a decent team, in my opinion. And we took a draw away. Just a shame we're not good at home, isn't it, Paul? Because, if we was good at home, we'd be picking up points home, and going away, a draw wouldn't be that bad, would it? Because the points that we are picking up away, if we was actually decent at home, we'd be smashing it this season. That's what's frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we could put them both together
Yeah,
somehow.
it is.
Start
It is.
performing at home.
Only when you get that consistency will you achieve what you want to achieve. That's the only way. It's being able to succeed more than just an individual time. It has to be, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. That's why Villa are where they are at the moment.
We are a work in progress, and hopefully we can start by beating like Bournemouth at home. Yeah, hopefully we can. It will change. We will turn it around. Moyes is trying his hardest to do this. I think. I'd love a little cheeky January signing though, and I think I'm hoping Moyes is quite secretive on doing it because Moyes did say Rabunum wasn't available this game, and he did pick Rabunum. So Moyes is a little bit of a keep his cards close to his chest and trick us. So I'm hoping we do bring in a player. Just bring in a really fast winger or something like that this transfer window. A really fast winger or a right.
Well, that Tyrese George, I think, is the name, and I think it's Chelsea. Supposed winger. I'd be happy, for another body, but not just another body. Someone with legs. Give him the ball and say go. I think Asnu's got that. He seems proper pacey. Just give him the ball, ask him to get up the pitch.
To me, Asnu was injured. I know Moyes doesn't rate Asnu that much and he doesn't play him, but to me, Asnu must have picked a knock-up. He must have, because he would have been on the bench. Some good videos on my YouTube are the better with the fans. Yeah, Elto's got stuff on YouTube. If you do want to go over and look at his stuff, people, he does get behind us, to be fair, so I don't mind giving him a little promotion there. That is the end of the show, people. That is the end of the show. As much as we could stay with you, I've been quite positive. So it is what it is, isn't it? Well, next game, we move on. We build on it. We work on it. We try and get better. And we will get better. Dewsbury is going to get sharper. Alcaraz is coming back. We haven't, for these players coming back, Paul, they're not fully fit yet. So you're not getting the goods from them yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, Grantwaite wasn't fully fit, but you can see him getting fit. Alcaraz just come on. He isn't even there yet, but he's going to get fitter. Dewsbury, you can see he's not sharp enough. He doesn't normally miss chances like that. So we've got players coming back. We will get better. Moyes will sort it out, I hope.
We're building decent foundations. Decent foundations are being built.
Exactly, people. Right. You lot have a boss Saturday. Have a boss Saturday. And who we got next?
We have Fulham on next Saturday. Saturday
try and
the
get
7th.
Russ on the show, yeah. We'll get Russ on the
3
show.
3:00 kickoff. Russ Goldman might be back, so I'd be good to see him again. And all being well, everyone will have a nice week and some results will go for us and we might be able to still see 8 from where we are come next Saturday.
Must be mad as a striker, though. For Beto, personally, Beto must actually feel good because it's his birthday. He's come on for 15 minutes and he's scored. So, minus what the result being a draw and him being not happy about that, I bet he secretly is thinking, I've done more than what I could do in 15 minutes. Beto, it's his birthday. He'll be celebrating. He'll be happy with that. It's weird because we scored, but no one's happy. And I get why you're not happy because you want to win, but Beto's probably thinking, I scored for you. You're not even happy for me. This goal's not even going to get talked about or shown. But what do you feel Beto gets unappreciated sometimes? Like he could have scored, and people are saying just get rid of him. It's weird, isn't it?
It is, but it's whenever you get a late goal, whether it be 2-2 or 1-1, 7 minutes into injury time, and you get something from the game. Take it and be happy with it, without a doubt.
Exactly. That is the end of the show, people. Toffee Bluecast. Make sure you do hit that like and subscribe. We go live before the night before, the night before normally, and make sure you subscribe because you'll know when we actually do go live. We go live before the game and after the game. That's the match reaction. Normally, I'd be fuming after the game, but I love a late goal to pee the other team off, and we got that. We got the draw. We're creeping up the table. We're trying to push Europa League. Up the top is everyone. Have a boss one. Tieno Barry, you didn't score, but Beto, you did. Happy birthday. What a birthday. Good score on your birthday, isn't it?
Yeah, not bad, is it?
Oh no, yeah, I got told off for doing that. You know what I mean? Let's do this. Up the top is better. Do you know better is a good celebration as well? The knees to the finger. I might just do that to pee people off as well, and do it because we've got a draw. Up the top is we'll be back soon. See you later. Have a boss one.